Hi, this is Amy M. Burns, and I'm going to show you today a quick way to get your students started with YuStudio. YuStudio is found here in Music First Elementary. It's a web-based digital audio workstation. And today we're just going to create a simple loop composition with just 4 bars. And here's how we're going to do it. Have your students go to musicfirstelementary.com/UMU to log in. How do you create logins and passwords? You can check out another video that I have here on the channel that can show you how to do that. Just to make a long story short, it's wonderful if you don't have a learning management system. You don't have to put in email addresses or anything. UMU will actually generate logins and passwords for your students. So as they logged in, go ahead and launch YuStudio. And again, we're just working with loops. YuStudio can do so much more, like edit notation. You can actually use and create notation and input it here in YuStudio. You can actually score a video. Yes, a web-based tool that can score video can do all of that in here. But today, we're just going to get them started. Have them name the composition YuStudio 3 loops. Have them bring the tempo down to about 96, you'll see why, and have them set the key to G Pentatonic. I bet you can guess where we're going here. Now they're going to add 3 loops. Here's how they do it. They go to Sounds, Audio. Let's pack up the artist and pack up the genre. Let's start with something they're very familiar with, which are instruments. Start with a drum loop. With my students, I would do this with grades 2, 3, 4, or 5. You could go younger. It depends on your students and your teaching situation. I would have my students go to full and listen to 3 drum loops. When they like it, they will double click it. So I would have them listen to 3, maybe disco. They click on it and hit play. Funk. And drum pattern loop. They double click and put disco in. Now we're going to set this up. This was perfectly set, but we're going to actually set the loop up this way, drag it to the end of bar 4 and hit loop. This little tool right here will actually loop it again if you wanted to make it longer and put it all the way to the end of bar 9. If you didn't, you could just click on this and delete it. Now, if this was a track you totally didn't want anymore, you could control click right here and delete the track. But I do want that, so I'm going to put it back. All right, when that's finished, go to a bass. We're looking for the key of G. There's a few here. You can go through some of these bass and figure out which loop you want. Again, click on it, listen. We need to bring that back, so this will bring it back because it went into a little too far and I want it to end on the first measure like that. That way, when I do this, we have it hitting right on the same bar on the downbeat. Let's take a listen and then we're going to talk about balance. Sounds good, but here's a great opportunity to talk about balance. The bass is a little too quiet. The drum loop is a little bit too loud. And then you can just balance it by using the volume sliders right here. I also would like the bass just to come in every other time. Now let's take a listen. Bring up that drum a little bit. All right, our final loop will be the synth. So again, we're looking for G major, and there's not a lot. There's a way we can get around that as well, so let me show you for your more advanced kids. Maybe you have pianists in your class who are really looking for something that they want to be G, and it's not there. So we're going to actually work with this here, the Harlem lead, which is in C. Now it's the wrong key, so we're going to double click, and we need to go down to G, so it's B, B flat, A flat, G. We're going to go down 5 semitones. That's 7, there's 5. All right, that made it a little longer, so we might actually expand it again. They don't have to do that. Again, they can just kind of block it all together because it's their first assignment in YuStudio. And now let's listen to it and balance again. Students will complain there's too many boxes on screen, especially for a Chromebook, so X out, use the orange X's. And the last thing we're going to do, especially for your advanced students who are like, this is good, but I want it better, is we're going to do the automation tool. It starts with volume. There's other things there. Panning might be really good for here too, but you could just start with a volume slide and have them draw in the volume so it does. What can I do from there? Well, very simply, you could grab a pitch percussion instrument, take a familiar chant that they know, and use the rhythm of the words to improvise on G Pentatonic over this loop. So try this with your students today and check back for more videos on how to use the creative tools, especially YuStudio, in your classroom.